peoples of the internets to War for the Crown, Songbird, Science Saboteur. We are on session 30. Last we left off, our party fought a lovely winter wolf on the way to the crab estate. They managed to make the winter wolf flee after it caused some decent damage, and they were able to make camp safer for the night, rest up, where Tavenay, Anna, and Desmond now hit the road once more to finish their trek towards Lothheater. Which, if you wake up bright and early in the day, you will get there in no time, and you can begin to see the large town come into view. Lots of different buildings you can see. It has a vibe of a large kind of trading town, if you will. A lot of smithies, a lot of there's a brewery. I can't say that word. No, I'm not even gonna try. A lot of those things that make beer. And some like sawmills and whatnot. A lot of trading posts. It is a very large trading town, as I said. One of the largest buildings in the town is the temple. Is a very large white marble temple. Obviously, Anna, you've been here before. But now you have more company than you previously did.
That is very true. What time do we roll into town?
If you wake up at 10 o'clock in the morning, let's say you were about here-ish, you'll be getting into town like for a late lunch, like 12:31, we'll say.
Okay, gotcha. Desmond, you wanted to get a horse, yes?
Yes, let's get some horses.
All right, perfect. I will then lead the way to the nearest place that sells horses, which I would almost wager is the temple.
You could possibly find. I feel like a town of this size likely has their own stables and building for horses beyond the temple.
Okay, perfect. And I will take everybody there so we can purchase one. Because I know the lay of the land, how far do I think we could get after we purchase the horses before we'd have to bed down for another night? Would we get to whatever spot 17 is?
Oh, I gotta remember what day we are on.
Sunday.
You're on Sunday, and so you have to meet them tomorrow. So 17, that's the Voidwood. Lovely name. Let me look at what that is, actually. Do, 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 do. Oh, interesting. Okay. So 17 is the home of Adela Voynam. That is the Voynam barony. I think you could probably, with horses, you could probably make it to the edge of the Voidwood and take camp or see about heading to Voynaris. Certainly a possibility.
Yeah, she's the one whose people were kidnapped, and I informed her that what's his face? Lothied stole them.
Yes, that is her.
Didn't we free a couple of those people?
Yeah. We freed some of them and sent them back to her barony.
Okay, so in character, We could get to Baroness Voidham's tonight via horseback, and then get to the crabs. What, by midday, early afternoon, following day, Monday.
Yeah, about, I would say.
Perhaps tea time?
Perhaps tea time.
Yes, perhaps.
Quaint tea time. I'm sure that they would gladly host all of us by the time we arrive at whatever time that we land in. But yes, the nearest horse stable for purchase is going to be this direction. I will lead them through town.
All right.
Okay.
You lead them through town to a stable.
Actually, before that, I purposely take a path that makes us go by my residence. I don't make any reference to the fact that it's mine, but I do look to see if I see my sister.
Okay. Give me a perception.
$16.
All right.
Just wondering if she's in and out, if I could see her through a window, or possibly sitting reading in the garden.
You do see her in an upper window, possibly reading a book or perhaps jotting something down with ink and quill.
She would actually be in the lower portion of the house.
Well, listen, ramps.
A lot of ramps, but okay. Okay, yeah.
Do you care for your sister or not?
Oh, I do.
Ramps.
Ramps, fine. Yeah. As we're going by, I'll throw the house a casual glance, and just seeing her and knowing that she's there. Anybody that's close to Anastasia right now would just kind of get like a kind of the feeling like of relief. But I don't make any means to stop. I continue on the way, but there's a sense of relief and like a little bit of a smile as she passes by this particular building. And then I will take them to the stables.
Then to the stables. Alright. Which, if there's no other interaction there, you are able to get to the stables, and you find a little gruff older man tending to the horses.
I'd say not that this is a big interaction, but as we're walking through this much bigger of a place than Stocky's, I'm making sure to keep my wits about me and assess any individuals that might be approaching for backstory reasons.
Mm-hmm. We love backstory reasons.
Unspecified backstory.
Do you want to give me a poor reception? A
I
poor
can do
reception.
that. I don't want to give you a poor reception. I'd like to give you a good reception. Midception it is. 13.
13. Okay. I mean, there's a whole host of people, coming through the place. Not entirely sure if you might recognize them or not. You see workers. I could say this word. You see, brewers with crates walking by. You see, people coming to and from work. A couple guards pass by in, helmets and gear, and a spear in hand. You're not entirely sure if you might recognize anyone or not, but certainly a host of interesting people.
We see some brewers brewing beer at the breweries.
Mm-hmm. I'm not going to say that, but you sure can.
I live in Wisconsin. We say it all the time. Anyway, stables.
Yes. Which is where you meet a gruff looking older man
Named Griff
tending to the
Alderman.
tending to the horses.
Can his name be Griff Alderman?
No.
No. Okay. I tried. I'd knock on the door to get his attention, even if it's like, like a
Like an outdoor
yeah,
type.
like if it's already outdoors, like I just knock on whatever nearby piece of wood I can.
Of course. You do that. He, kind of like shoveling some hay. He says, "I'll be with you in a moment."
All right, no rush. Just meant to announce ourselves.
And in a moment, he's with you. He finishes moving some hay around and comes up and sees the trio of you and says, "Oh, what can I do you for?"
We're in the market for some horses. Are there any for sale?
I got a couple for sale. What type of horse you looking for? Got some meant for travel. Got some more heavier trained horses from the palace. Train them here for the Lord.
I think I'd be most interested in horses who are very familiar with the surrounding baronies. If they know the terrain, perhaps they can get me from destination to destination safer.
Well, they all know the terrain here. We train them in the area. Just a matter of how much coin you want to spend.
That's fair. I don't believe I'll need one for combat.
Well then, follow me. And he begins walking through the stable. I got a few horses that might be good. We got this one here, and he shows you this. You come to the stable of this mottled-looking horse, mixture of brown and white in color with some spots on the white. And across from that horse, he points out a darker colored horse. He saw, I'm assuming Anna rode in on her horse, so he knows he's not going to sell a horse to someone who has a horse. So he only shows the two horses, assuming that, the one person coming in on a horse, two people walking next to them, you're probably in the shop for two horses, but at the same time, he also does look at you and says, "I have these two. How many in the market for?"
Are these two your only riding horses?
"Oh, I got a few more. These two are some of my better horses."
All right. What color did you say was the darker one?
Darker black.
Okay.
Could I do a sense motive or like even a perception check to like look at the other horses? See if he's like cheating us?
Sure, I'll take a sense motive. 14. Middle of the field. He's probably playing up these two horses a bit more than the others. To try and make the sale, but it's not like, oh, take these horses. These horses are actually worse than the other horses. Ha ha ha, give me your money.
Okay. I mean, that's passable. All right. I think Yeah. How much?
Oh, well, if you want one of these horses, that'll be around they're some more of my better horses, so we'll say how about a nice solid 85 gold apiece.
Um, I kind of turn to Anastasia, and kind of give her a look. Is like, do you think that's a good deal?
Can I dismount my horse and uh, uh, inquire? Do you mind if I inspect the horses?
Be my guest.
And if I'm allowed, I'd like to roll either um, roll animal handling to check the horses, but I'd also like to roll a sense motive to narrow down if he's jacking up the price or not.
Okay, go for it.
Well, I'll give you the animal handling first. Check the horses. 14.
14. I mean, the horses seem to be horses. You know, they don't seem to have limps or anything that you can tell. You know, there's no outward issue.
Good. And sense motive, I get to roll twice. Hell yeah, 26.
26. It definitely seems to be that he's jacking up the price a little bit. You know, you've bought a horse before. You know, you ride your own horse. He's definitely jacking up the price more than face value. But as he said, kind of coming from this area, it's likely that these are some of his best horses. It's not jacking up the price to screw you. It's jacking up the price because the horses are worth it.
Okay, so the price is a little high, but the quality is there.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So after Anastasia finishes inspecting the horses, she will kind of pipe up and say, "These are fine horses. I can understand why the price point would be a little bit higher than normal. Is there room for just a tad bit of negotiation?"
Well, what have you got in mind?
I will look to Desmond and say, "There's room for negotiation with the price, but I will leave the negotiation to you, as you were the ones partaking in the horses, as I have my own."
All right. Well, I think understanding the business you're running, it's only seeming to propose more business in exchange for a lower rate now. We're from the Stockies Bettany estate. We're looking to revive some of the town's livelihood, and the town will need horses. You will see more business from us as the town grows if we have lower rates now.
And what lower rate you on these horses for?
Perhaps 70 gold.
70 does sound like a very reasonable deal.
Hmm. Give me a diplomacy.
That sounds good.
He kind of scratches his chin and says, I can't do 70. That's under market price for 2 horses like this, but how about 75? That is flat market price for these horses.
Desmond will nod and extend his hand to shake his.
All right, he will shake your hand as well, and he says, "That is, you buying both or just the one?"
I shake to finish my own transaction. If Tavenay requires a combat horse, I don't mean to speak for her.
Um, no, I'll look him in the eye and just no, I think this is a lovely creature.
Perfect then. Both it is.
All right. I don't know if you were saying anything else, Tavenay, but you cut out a creature. Oh.
No,
Okay.
that's interesting.
He does say, just to be clear, that is 75 for each horse.
Yes, that's what I understood.
All right. You shake your hands and says, "I'll be right back with the papers." And he walks through, building, opens a door, goes inside. You're maybe sitting there for a couple minutes before he comes back out with 2 pieces of paper that he, has jotted something down and hands to you. And says, hands to you both. Says, "Well, enjoy your horses. You are now the proud owner of both of these beauties. Pleasure doing business."
Tavenay, do you have a preference between the brown and white one and the dark one?
Oh, I already gravitated towards the sleek black one.
Very well. That means your name shall be Bullet henceforth, Desmond says, looking at the brown and white horse.
All right.
And then I'll subtract.
We're giving names to them already.
Yeah. I'm going to subtract that off my
I'll call
money.
you Shay.
Quite interesting name choices.
Could I get your name? I'm going to need it if we are to have continued business.
You can call me Gowry.
Gowry. All right. Where the heck is... Oh, there's my 4 for the crown notes. Gaory, I'm guessing? Out of character.
Gowry.
Gowry. Stable Master. And Lotheater. Excellent.
Is there anything else in Lothita for you all, as you have now gotten your horses?
None for either me or Mackenzie.
personally, no.
All right, so back on the road you go. And if that is the case, you begin making your way through town once more with your new horses, riding alongside Lake Stavian, making your way through the plains of the country of Merit. You're maybe, hour 2, maybe 3 into your journey. Midday. When could Tavenay, Anna, and Desmond, can you guys give me perception checks, please?
Oh. $25.
Well, dang. That's pretty good.
Yes, it is.
And we'll wait for Anna's.
Oh, Anna also gets one.
My
Oh,
name
yeah.
wasn't mentioned. That's why I put a frowny face.
Oh, I definitely said
Yeah.
Anna, I think.
Did you?
Did I not?
No?
I'm pretty sure.
It might have
I
cut
remember-
off.
It might have cut off.
it
Because
might
I
have been-
definitely said
It
all
might have been
three.
the first.
Yeah,
It might have been the first one.
I just sounded. I heard Desmond and Tavenay, but
Oh,
It was
I
probably
definitely
the
said
first
all
one and
three.
it cut
perfectly
off.
cut off, right? There
Yeah.
was no cut off part of Anastasia in there.
There's
okay.
9. It's a 19.
Well, you got it now. Midway through, on the way to the Voynam estate, you guys round a corner, cross this little trail here across the river, and begin heading towards this road here, this section of road, where you see quite an interesting sight. You see... Hold on a second. You see a man in the road, weapon up, a dead horse alongside him, and a very angry looking creature accosting him. Which, one moment as I set the stage. Oh. Your horses might not be of the correct color, but I will fix that at a later date. Because you turn down the road and you see this lovely sight.
Oh no, the poor horsey.
And I am going to roll initiative here for everyone, but as we go into it, Brahm, you see a trio of horse riders approaching you. An angry owlbear just tore your horse asunder and sent you flying, and it is your turn.
Alright. I'm gonna go ahead, well, say this first is, I just bought that horse! As I pound my chest, and it's a Kyrgyz protect me, as I cast shield on myself.
Okay.
Then I'm gonna go ahead and move towards it and swing my hammer.
Alright. That is a miss. Perhaps being, bamboozled. That's not the right word, but bamboozled by the sudden owlbear assault. You were knocked a little bit, and weren't really fully prepared for your swing.
It is unfortunate. I will. That's all I can do for now.
Alright, the owlbear is going to try and... It's going to try and stab into you with its pointed beak. And try and do a little munch. That is a 25.
That hit.
That is 9 points of damage. 9 points of damage. As I have something for this, as it rears up to come at you for an attack. And slams into you with its beak as we go to the very top. And Anna, it is your turn.
Oh gosh. Okay. I will first cast Mage Armor on myself to raise my AC. And then is my movement attached with the horse's movement as well?
That is a good question. Let's see. Movement. A mounted bearer, a mount bearing a rider can move at a hustle. I only know the D&D rule, which your movement is connected to the horse, I think. I don't know if it's different in Pathfinder.
I'm fine if we want to rule it the same. Oh, our Pathfinder is speaking. Yes.
Yes, this does sound like your cue.
Yes. Cue up.
How does horse
I've never
movement
done
work?
mounted combat.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so then we have two options. We can either tie it to the horse, or we can say you have horse and then your movement.
I'm fine with either one. I just ask that whatever we decide, we stick with moving forward. So I will leave it at your discretion. Which would you like to do? Do you want the horse to have its own separate movement, or it to be linked to mine and I just have horse speed, quote unquote?
Let's see. I need to look something up again.
You're looking up horse speed, so am I.
Yeah, I'm looking up some stuff.
50 feet of movement for a horse's.
I think my 2 cents on this, the only thing, if we just connect it to our movement and just basically buff our movement, that makes it harder to use some features in Pathfinder, like things that require a move action. So I don't know how you want to roll with that.
Well, if your mounts don't possess combat training, if you don't dismount, you must make a DC 20 ride check each round as a move action to control a mount. If you succeed, you can perform a standard action after the move action. Which is what I just read. Yeah, that is for mounts in combat. Your mount acts on your initiative count as you direct it. You move at its speed, but the mount uses its action to move.
Okay.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, with that, I'm gonna move with my horse. We're gonna go, just out. Go. And then, 50 feet of movement. We're gonna go right there. Hi-ya! And then I'm gonna jump up. Hi-ya! 5, 10, 20, 25, 30. Yeah, and I guess I will use my action to draw my blade. No, I already used my action. I think, is it a swift action to draw your weapon? Or is it already out? Like, how's that?
Well, I know quick draw lets you draw weapons.
Regardless, it's part of your move action. So it's
Okay.
either is your move action or it's part of your move action if you have the base attack bonus for it.
Oh, okay. Then I will pull out my longsword as I run to get to here, but that will be the end of my movement because I use my action to cast mage armor on myself.
Alright, I forgot about that. Desmond.
Alright, I'll dismount. And then 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. How far is that? Something tells me that's outside my standard range. It is outside my standard range. Okay. I guess I'll be making an attack at my extended range, so I'll take a -1 to this. And I will try to shoot a cold blast at it.
Okay.
Ooh,
And that
does
is
11?
against touch.
Yes.
That does hit.
Cool.
For 14. Is that max? Oh shit.
Yes,
is.
it was.
Holy
Hey.
shit.
Everyone was like, wow, that's unusually effective. Alright, that's my turn.
Okay. Tavenay, it's your turn. I'm also sending you some DM question.
Okay.
But take your turn while I type.
So the 50 movement that I get from the horse is using the horse's action, and then I have all of mine?
That's what it read like to me.
Okay.
Which I think...
don't have control of the horse.
Yeah, just tell me where you're going. Like, make a line and I'll just move it.
Sure. Let's... And it can only act once, or can it move twice?
You
know.
I would say yes, a horse can run.
Okay, just checking. In that case, I'll have it run over this way and prepare to dismount around here, letting it get a little bit further as necessary for its own survival.
Which I will say, I think
yeah.
after getting used to the whole horses rule, I'm gonna call this a free combat. After this combat, I think I'm gonna, if you bring your horses into combat, I might ask for rolls to keep them calm. But this is a freebie.
Yeah, that would be great to double down on figuring out horse rules now that we have horses and are in the County of Merit.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so dismount.
Yes, and then shift my weight over, unraveling the meteor hammer from around my neck and smacking in fortress mode at 10 feet, the backside of the owlbear.
Okay.
Hopefully. What's my bonus? It is +4, so +6. Okay. 15.
That hits.
Hooray! And since I did have to move for this, it's just going to be the standard rather than the full. So that's only a +2 instead of a +3. Ooh, max damage. That's 10 damage.
10 damage. Okay. When a creature gets hit, it can choose to turn to face its target, right?
Since we're using
How does that work?
well, engagement flanking isn't exactly rules as written, so kind of whatever we want. But I can see it being reactionary instead of being like an active thing.
Hmm. I feel like I've already done the reactionary in past combats.
Yeah.
So it's
Just
gonna.
like could not. By that I mean like it could not follow my engagement as I walk around
Yeah.
it type thing.
Yeah, but
But it can
as it
probably
gets
like
hit.
turn around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because as it gets hit on the back by your meteor hammer, it certainly rears up and turns to look at you. Is that all, Tavane?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Brahm.
All right. As I see the Oliver starting to turn away, I raise my hammer, and a red energy starts coming from me into my hammer as I use my arcane pool to add a +1 enhancement onto my hammer.
Okay.
Then I'm going to go ahead and swing at the owlbear.
Okay. That certainly hits. Oh, it is. It did not like that.
For a night, buddy. And that's all I'm gonna be able to do.
Okay. Um. Need to look up something.
Does Beefcake look injured, or is it just the horse?
It looks very hurt. It is bleeding for sure.
I'm talking about the dude, Brahm.
Oh. Brom looks hurt.
There's some blood coming from his chest. He just got like pecked there.
Okay.
But no, he's not looking wobbly.
Just you happen to
owlbear.
rock.
Yeah. The owlbear, not liking its position, is gonna rear up with its claws. Is gonna full attack and send, if I have this right, because he does get two. He's gonna like wide swipe a claw. Towards Anna and then Brom.
Oh, turning away from me.
Yeah, so it's gonna stand up and send its first claw towards Anna for a 22.
Miss.
And then its second claw towards Brom for a 27.
It's a hit.
And you will be dealt 5 points of damage as the large claw slashes across your chest as we go to Anna.
All right. I'm gonna. Does where I'm at count as flanking or no? And if I took a 5-foot step here, would it count as flanking? Is he large?
Yeah, I'll give it to you because you'd kind of be out of his view.
Well, I was thinking with Braum there.
Well, yeah.
Okay, so I would take a 5-foot step this way. And then I will swing at it. Blade. Hey, yeah! 27 to hit.
27 hits. Do you get the sneak attack?
I do, with it being acknowledged as flanking.
Okay. How do you put down the owlbear?
Oh, snap! Holy crap! Yeah, I just, as it goes up for another swing at Braum, I just cut underneath its shoulder and across its back, and then my final lunge just plunges it. I just plunge the blade into its back.
And with a dying roar, it drops dead. With a large thud to the ground.
Sir, are you alright?
Oh, I'm alive thanks to you guys. Oh god. I'm just gonna go ahead and put his hand on his chest as the golden glow starts emitting. I'm gonna go ahead and activate my fervor ability and heal myself for 1d6 damage. Alright.
Are owlbears pretty common in this area? Like maybe out of like hibernation or something like that, or they pass through the area?
That is an amazing question. Oh, by the way, here you go.
Oh, that looks so good.
Yeah, Pathfinder art.
That looks so good. Oh, his claws look nasty.
Let's see here. You can give me a. I guess it could. I could see a knowledge local, because it's for the surrounding area.
I'll take that over nature, which would be like knowing their patterns. The local would be like, oh, how often does this show up?
Yeah.
Hubba. Wow. I know average information.
Yeah, I mean, you might have heard people talking about owl bears before, but you're not well versed on how common they are in the area.
Gotcha. Well, sir, I'm glad you're okay. Not very wise traditionally to travel alone, though some people do make do. Where are you heading?
I was heading to a theater. Well, I guess I was actually just heading to a major town here for any job for adventurers. But uh, as I does as I start I guess getting my backpack from my dead horse. Yeah, that was the plan. I was gonna come to the county, look for some jobs, make some money, and realize there were a lot of dangerous creatures here.
Yes, well, you learned your lesson and got away alive. I think it would be wise if you traveled with us, sir.
Oh,
What's your
my
name?
apologies. My name is Brom. Um, Brom is just fine. But who are you three? If it's fine for me to ask.
My name is Desmond Belfry. I'm the scion of the Bettany estate.
I'm Anastasia Zafiri. I actually hail from Theodore, but heading out of town for a small bit.
I'm Taven Aeolondir, and I'm not from around here.
Ah, well, I looking at the olive bear. I think I'll follow your, or I'll accept your offer, considering well, your horse is dead, and injured, and don't know if I'll encounter another olive bear on my way to the little theater. And sounds like you guys have something or some tasks that you're about to undertake. If that is fair to assume.
Yes, well, we're going to attempt to be in time for tea, if that qualifies as a task, but I'm sure there are political undertones. You're welcome to stay with us until we eventually head back home to Stockies.
Well, I suppose a tea party would be a nice change of pace, honestly. Um, yeah. Again, name's Brom, blacksmith turned adventurer at your service.
You're a blacksmith.
Well, blacksmith turned adventurer. I'm terribly.
You cut out.
God damn it.
Sorry,
Um,
you were saying.
Yeah. Terribly sorry for your loss. They look like they were a wonderful companion.
Yeah, they were a wonderful companion for about a week. This is giving me a little bit of trouble. I've never been too good with animals, or rather, I guess animals don't really like for whatever reason. But yeah, they're doing pretty well. Anyway, we should probably try to head somewhere safe. That's fine with you.
We've got we've got friends that hoping will be able to provide us lodging or recommendations for lodging out nearby, but we do need to hurry. The sooner we get there, the safer we will all be.
Yeah, hate to be on the roads during nighttime.
Yes.
Yes, so choose a horse if anyone is willing to offer just a little bit more room on their saddle.
Um,
Who's the lightest out of us?
It's probably going to be you, Taven, eh?
Yeah? I've got like 220 pounds, me and my equipment.
Okay, I stand corrected because you have equipment. uh, Anastasia then?
It's Anastasia. She's probably probably
yeah,
a
I have
total
a
of like 170 on her, including
wow.
herself.
I'm pretty light compared to everyone. Well, anyway, I suppose I asked Anastasia would it be okay if I well, ride with you?
Um, oh, with all due respect, if it was a last ditch thing, I wouldn't have an issue with it, but I really don't know you that well and would like to get to know you a little better before we share a saddle, if that's all right.
All right, well,
You just,
uh, Desmond just jumps off. Here, I just got Bullet. I really hope that getting your horse killed isn't one of your personality traits.
I hope so too. Um, he's just sort of gonna work his way onto the horse, and
Desmond kind of looks up, kind of coyly. Lady Anastasia, may I mount your horse?
He kind of lets out a little bit of a sigh. It doesn't sound like a defeated sigh. It just sounds like one of those like, ah, he got me. And she will scoot forward on her saddle and say, "Right, hop on."
Now, if we're done with the theatrics, I'd like.
But theatrics are so fun. You hear her shout as she kicks her horse and starts moving up behind you.
Oh, trust me, I appreciate theatrics as much as the next girl.
All right. You all set off to begin the journey towards Voinaris, which, as the day closes out and night does come, you are able to make it to the town. A couple of miles outside the town, in fact, over. Let's see, let me get the symbol on the screen. Right there. You can smell the pungent scent of wine and vinegar from miles away, even outside the town's borders. And you're able to make it through the town, which holds, as I said, the main industries here are wineries and, shops that make such things, and maybe a glassware shop here and there. But it is a quaint little town as you are able to pass through it. Do you take a look around town as night falls, or do you make your way towards the Voidum estate?
I guess briefly Desmond would look around and see if he can find any of those people that he freed from the hunt.
Okay. You can give me a perception. 10?
These
No.
rolls don't want me to RP.
Yeah, you don't really see anyone. Especially with it being late, everyone's probably in their homes or whatnot.
Alrighty, onwards towards the estate. If the dice are going to be that way.
All right. You make your way towards the estate, which is a very fine-looking building. It is gated. There's a gate around the building, and you see two guards standing outside the gate, watching your approach. Kind of like classic garb, standing there with two spears. You can see maybe a guard or two again inside the gate itself. What would you like to do?
I mean, I think Desmond would just walk up and stop a respectable distance away.
All right. Do you dismount your horse? Or do you dismount the horse?
Oh, if Anastasia dismounts, I'll dismount. Would be kind of weird if I didn't.
No, I'd stay on my horse.
Why are we so far out?
It is common courtesy to approach via foot than on a horse. You tend to look a little less threatening if you approach from that respect.
Me. Threatening. Desmond kind of chuckles and dismounts the horse.
I specialize in not threatening.
All right. Does everyone dismount their horses?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. You all begin walking towards the gate. You get, fairly close enough, like, you can see the guard in their full garb and everything. There is a point where one of them kind of holds their hand out and says, "Oh, it's rather late in the night. If you wouldn't mind stating your names and your business here at the estate."
My name is Desmond Belfry. I'm the scion of the Bettany estate. Lady Voynam is a friend of ours.
Um,
Over there.
Give me a diplomacy. 25. The diplomacy was to prevent him from asking, "Okay, what proof? I'm the king." Uh, uh, he says, "All right, just hold here. I'll go get the Baroness." And he goes inside the gate and begins walking up, leaving the other guard there, just kind of watching you all. And a little bit passes, maybe a minute, before the guard comes down, and you can see Baroness Adela Voynam with a stern look on her face, the scars across her face as well, uh, which I will share her handout once more. Coming down with the guard, and the guard opens the gate, and Voynam says, "Ah, yes, hello. It is rather late. What brings you here? Please, come in." She
Desmond
kind
nods politely and follows her in.
of begins to usher you all in. Uh, the guard who went to get Baroness Voynam does say, if you'd like to bring your horses in, we do have stables here.
Wonderful. Thank you. And I will return to retrieve my horse.
And if the others don't go back, the two guards will I'll offer themselves. They will grab the other horses to lead them in, and you're able to put them into stables and head into the estate, where you enter a nice little like living room. There's a fireplace. There are some chairs. There's a small little table. And she welcomes you all in and sits down. And she says, "I need to see something." She says, "Yeah, half the party are strangers. Like, Desmond is the only one she really knows. Maybe Anna as well, I think. Anna was at the party. Um,
Yeah, we bonded over my horse riding jousting win.
yeah." And so she looks at the two of you and says, "Oh, so what brings the two of you to my estate? I see you have some new companions in tow."
Yes. In our reconstruction efforts, we've encountered some troubles and encountered new allies. We were on our way towards the Krabs' estate and found that Voynara is a perfect place to stop in.
So the Cramps have sucked you into their little gossip gambit, have they? Well, I hope I can at least provide one night of rest before you deal with that.
That's quite possible and generous. I'm not sure what I'm walking into with the Crab's Tea Party, as they've referred to it.
Well, they will talk your heads off, and you will likely wish yourselves dead.
I see. Thank you for the warning. I will brace myself. I think
No.
Desmond would just like make small talk and say, on the other hand, brighter news, the vineyard is currently being repaired, and we found some townspeople to start working on it.
Oh, that is wonderful to hear. Then our deal might just come to an end, and we will have both mutual benefits. But before that, would you mind introducing me to your two companions here? I'd like to know who enters my estate. Looking at Tavenet and Brahm.
I wait for introduction with a smile and my like piercing blue eyes.
This is Tevene Aelon, dear. She is now out of character. It's an Inquisitor, right? That's her class?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't think I've made mention of specifically Inquisitor,
Ooh,
but
okay,
yes.
then I will describe it, I think, as how Desmond would probably wing it. Okay, I
Yeah, why
think
not?
Desmond would say, Tevene is a holy woman with great combat prowess. She's been very helpful. And this is our new blacksmith, I believe. Brom.
Well, it is a wonder to meet you both. A new blacksmith, you say? That'll do wonders for your little town.
I believe so.
So you said you're to meet the crabs on the morrow, hmm?
That is correct.
Well, if you do not have a place to stay for the night, you are more than welcome to stay in some of my guest rooms.
That is much appreciated, Lady Voynam. Uh, Tell me, the Voidwood, we're going to be passing around and through it in some parts. Uh, I take it you're an expert on these woods.
You could say something of that sort. As it does follow under my jurisdiction. What interest might you have within the Voidwood?
I haven't heard much of it. I wonder what beasts and dangers lurk within. An owlbear crossed our path just a short ways from here. I'm wondering if the Voidwood is its natural home.
Oh, very interesting. Well, it is the county's largest remaining woodland. And from what from some local hunters say, and what Baron O'Cara likes to boast when he goes on his hunting trips, well, you see, the Voidwood is home to some quite large beasts, some that you might find extinct in other areas of the county. I myself wouldn't recommend a jaunt through it, but if you stick to the road, you should be more than fine.
Any beasts of note?
Well, There could be, truthfully, a whole host inside. I don't much pertain to the knowledge of the beasts within the Voidwood. I wouldn't be surprised if that beast at the party that Count Lothita threw originally came from the Voidwood.
Oh, well, that's a great deal of excitement to look forward to. Hopefully we don't cross paths with that again.
Indeed.
Did anyone else have anything to say?
Just warm appreciation for your housing.
Of course. I'm glad to house friends, and friends of friends. And if there's nothing else from anyone, you'll be led to rooms where you are able to get a night's rest.
Are they singular rooms?
They would be singular rooms.
Okay, wonderful.
Any nighttime activities, or do the four of you just lay down for rest? I'll ask in order of character, so we're not all jumping in. Tavene, any nighttime activities?
No, just making sure I'm not exhausted in the morning.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Anna, any nighttime activities?
Yes, actually, after getting relatively settled into bed, I would actually venture to Desmond's room and his door.
All right, Desmond, as in you're in the middle of your nighttime activities, you hear a knock, knock, knock.
Enter.
Anastasia would open the door and step inside and say, do you have a moment to talk?"
I do. Is everything all right?
She kind of like looks down the hallway, one end and then the other, and then just slowly shuts the door behind her and says, "When Cassidy and I were in Lothheater, something peculiar happened, and I feel like it is of the best interest for at least one more person to know in case something like it happens again."
All right, I'm listening.
We're making our way to my family's estate. A voice came to me on the winds and whispered what I can really only describe as a dangerous message of upon hearing it, I was able to procure a bit more guard while Pasadena and I stayed the night at my estate. And in the morning, everything was fine. However, Pasadena didn't hear it. I don't know if the message was meant for Cassidy and myself, for just me, but it did put me on high alert. And I feel like if something like that were to happen again, I would like to have somebody else on alert with me. Cassidy and I came up with a code phrase that we could tell one another if we ran into something that was off, and kind of let each other know. Whether it was a whisper on the wind, or somebody makes you feel uncomfortable or unsafe. And I do think that more than just a pair should know the phrase. And my first thought was you.
Well, Well, I feel like I should be flattered. This does sound somewhat concerning. All right. What phrase are you thinking?
So the phrase is in reference to a meal. Whatever the meal would be, the next correspondence that you'd run into the day. And you would say, we will have jasmine tea at, and then whatever the meal is that we're going to have, breakfast, lunch, supper. Um, but it is a subtle thing to have in a conversation, but is odd enough to trigger the alarm to let the other person know that they need to be on their guard.
All right. Well, I do know the ins and outs of some secret talks, but I will be sure to keep jasmine tea as a key phrase if that would suffice.
As long as you reference a meal, that will be my clue that something is afoot and I need to be diligent about it. I haven't heard the whisper since, and considering we went through Loathheater before getting here and nothing happened, I don't know what to make of it. It just seemed like a wise move to have something subtle to let other people know that something is amiss.
Hmm. Anastasia, I suppose I should have asked sooner, but the business in Stockies, the Bettany estate, it's been very hurried. Why would someone target you? Who are you?
I take it as the name Zafiri doesn't ring a bell.
I think out of character, I had rolled low when I checked, or maybe I didn't roll at all. I don't know. Okay, so I never rolled. I guess seeing as I'd never rolled, can I roll now?
To see if the name rings a bell.
Yeah.
Um, hmm. Trying to remember your backstory. Yeah, yeah. So you're more connected to Opara than you would be Merit.
Okay, that makes sense.
So rather than a legitimate role, maybe you might have caught it in, your father's, missives or whatnot, or other such work. Do you want higher or lower on a roll to D100?
I'll go higher.
All right, here we go. Higher is 50 and above. I got a 73. So I will say you may have heard the name in passing before. You might have a bit more knowledge of the family and maybe the business end of things, but you're
Okay.
not, you don't know the ins and outs of the Zafiri family. You don't
All right.
really know them. You know of them, you don't know them.
All right. I'll RP as appropriate with some information that I heard like out of character, like fitting in well enough. Um, I've heard of Zafiri jewelry, but I can't say I'm very familiar with your family's businesses.
Well, you're not wrong. My family specializes in jewelry, particularly diamonds. Um, what you may not be aware of is my standing in society, as my family helped build merit and start the trade routes with their diamonds that they've collected. So we've been very heavily involved in the development of merit itself. However, that does come with troubles, to say the least. When I was younger, um, I was attacked after my parents died. Um, being one of the two surviving heirs, I was attacked and nearly killed. Luckily, I beat my assailant, and was able to avoid getting hurt. But that is not to say that something like that won't come again. Hence the protection around my estate and protection around the shop to keep my sister safe when I'm out and about. So there's a chance that the eerie whispers could be nothing, and there's a chance that the eerie whispers could be somebody coming after me again. So if people are going to travel with me and I'm going to be out and about and around, I think it's very crucial to take situations like this into account and prepare an action plan accordingly, even if it's just, be aware of your surroundings.
As an ambassador to Opara and being under my father's shadow for a while, I'm familiar with assassination attempts. Do you know anything more of your assailants? The people who would harm your family? Do you know who they are?
It's hard to say. We've been really good with the country and with the county. We host a oh crap, what is it called? We host a food bank and try to feed the homeless whenever we can, and a lot of our money goes to paying our workers, the people in the mines, and the people at the shops, plus the trade. And I I don't know, and I know that kind of sounds like a cop-out answer, because everybody's going to have some form of enemy, but I'm not really heavily involved in politics, and if anything, my sister may know more about that than I would, but
Anastasia, it's alright. You don't need to know all of the answers. I just need to know what I'm stepping into. If you don't know who your enemies are, then logic dictates that anybody could be your enemy, even me. But you're choosing to trust me, and I will reciprocate the trust. But if there is somebody after you, you need to remain safe. We don't know if Voinum is related to your assailant's business or funds, and I know it seems horrid of me, but you should stay here for the night. Voinum is aware that your room is down the hall that way. If she is part of your assailant's group, throwing them off the scent, even for one night, could save your life.
uh she kind of like crosses her arms and leans her back against the door. You can see her foot kind of tapping against the wood flooring as she kind of stands there, and she says, I have survived many nights, whether I was on the road or staying in some strange area. How much of a relationship do I have with Voinam? How well do I know her from being a semi-local to the area?
Being semi-local, I think just, based off of, what I know of your backstory and your character, what has been built. I'm gonna say something, but I'm gonna ask for a roll. The roll is going to tie into what I'm gonna say, but give me a knowledge local.
Sure, can do. Knowledge. Local.
Or actually,
Huh?
or nobility.
Knowledge local. 23.
23. Okay. It's definitely not, relationship of, baron to baron or, etc. You're not in that rank, but, considering the work your family's done, you've likely sold jewelry to the barons, Baroness Voynam. So in terms of relationship, your family probably has a business relationship with all of the barons of Merit. Some might be friendlier than others, but at base level, business relationship.
Okay, cool. She stops tapping her foot and turns around, putting her hand on the door, and says, "This is someone that I have done business with in the past, both my sister and myself. Think I'll be okay for the night, but if you hear me yelling something about jasmine tea, please come running."
If I hear you yelling anything at all in the middle of the night, I'll come running.
She kind of pulls open the door and stops, hearing that, and looks over her shoulder, and in probably the softest tone Desmond has ever gotten from her, she says, "Thank you. I appreciate that." And with that, she will walk out and shut the door and go to her room.
You go back to your room, Desmond, your door shuts. Do you go right to bed or do you have any nightly activities?
Desmond opens his book, Admiral Arguments on the Orcish Lexicon, and looks up the phrase, "What the fuck?"
Alright, so you're studying your book.
Before he goes to sleep.
Yeah, you're reading up on the curse words.
Should I just put that under the phrases I know? Like, just
Yeah,
no
sure.
curse words? Okay.
Brom, any late night activities, or do you go right to bed now as well?
So Brahm's gonna be patching himself up, like casting a light wound, so that the bed's not bloody as he hops onto it. And
Yeah, you get your HP in con plus level, as well as Tavenay, Desmond, and Anna. You all get 1,150 experience points. And Brom, you get 300 experience points.
It's so close.
Yeah, 1,150 experience points to Anna, Desmond, and Tavenay. As you all wake up in the morning feeling nice and refreshed.
So close to another level.
I got
Desmond
gets up,
probably
probably
just
just barely able to sleep well enough to call it a rest.
Yep, I will get up. And if the Baroness is already awake, I will join her downstairs for morning breakfast and small talk.
What you're able to do, and breakfast would have been made. You join her in like a nice little dining area. eggs, bacon, meats, dried meats for breakfast, oats, the like. And you're all able to gather yourselves downstairs where Baroness Voynam says, "Well, I do wish you luck on your journey to the crabs. I wish you even further luck partaking in their conversation."
Is this on the way out?
Yeah, we'll say this is on the way out. She would also say, and you're more than welcome to stop by any other time that you wish.
That seems likely. I think we'll probably be back. From the way it sounds, it seems more pleasant than stopping at the crabs.
She just kind of nods her head to that and like agrees with you. Like, yes, yes, it is. And you're all able to get your horses. Is Desmond joining Anna again on her horse?
Desmond gets up to the horse and looks up at Anna. I don't suppose I should ask for permission again, Lady Anastasia.
I think you need to ask for permission every time.
So this is going to be an ongoing bit, isn't it?
Permission is very important.
Well, with permission, may I mount your horse?
Yes, you may.
Anastasia just getting this weird power kick.
Be polite. Don't think that's asking too much.
The question's already been asked. Oh man, but you know, I'll keep that in mind the next time we take a rest, Tevene.
Anyway, shall we set forth?
Brom just saying, yeah, should we go?
It's
Kind of what the group needs right now. This is kind of funny.
Yes, please.
Yes, let's.
All right, you all set out for the crabs. And I realized I forgot to ask this because I'm a goofy goober. I need a fortitude save from Anna.
Oh, yeah, that's right, huh? Fortitude is... this one. Natural 20 for 25.
Whoa, natural 20.
Am I cured?
Okay.
Is that how that works?
Well, you can count one success.
Huzzah! I don't know how I'm gonna track that, but I will.
You got one success to being cured.
Yay!
And so you feel much better come morning. You still feel a bit sluggish, but you feel better than you were the previous day. And you all set off traveling the edge of the Voidwood towards the Crab Estate, where it is very eerie. It is you look towards the dark wood, and it is very much like all just almost what's the word, like just void of light. And as you begin passing the woods itself, you begin to hear the like a mass cawing of crows, caw, 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 coming from all around you.
Hmm.
Well, that ain't ominous.
Which actually, let's I can actually do a very lovely thing here and bring you to the edge of the void wood in but a moment. As I set the grand stage.
Oh, look at this. Wow.
Hmm.
As you see all in the trees around you, large, dead-eyed crows. Well, more like evil-eyed crows. And they all are just watching you.
Mm-hmm.
I tuck away anything that's shiny. Anything that's shiny on me. Like, they do not see it.
Desmond
I'll say I am
whispers.
significantly more preferential to people.
Desmond whispers to Morpheus, "If they try to steal any of our shiny things, Morpheus, eat them."
Okay.
Can I roll maybe an animal handling check to see if the crows are hostile or if they're just more observant / curious?
Sure.
#21.
21. They definitely seem to be quite curious. They don't seem like they're going to lunge at you to attack you. But they definitely don't seem kind within their eyes either.
I'm pretty used to drawing a lot of eyes, but this is new for me.
I agree. It's unnerving. Brom, don't tarry. Let's stick together.
Oh, I don't plan on straying too far from you guys, especially as he's just looking around. Uh,
Um,
um, could I cast detect evil?
Run, horse, run! There it goes.
Sure.
Okay, so that long spiel. Not sure if anyone like understand, or well, if anyone has like a brief
Are
summary of how
you
it'll work.
are you aiming it
Oh,
towards the trees?
Yeah, I guess just sort of scanning the birds to see if like there's things that I really concerned about.
All right. So The first round, if you are aiming it in like this direction towards the mass of detect chaos.
I don't know.
Okay.
He's already got evil under wraps, so chaos just tells me if they're prone to acting out.
Okay. Um Now is that also okay, so both of you get an aura of chaos and evil.
Oh. Okay.
Round 2 of number of evil auras in the area. Well, in direction of your spells, if both of you are casting like up towards the trees. There would be, that number of crows in your phone to tell you the number.
Mm-hmm.
Third round, the power and location of each aura. You can discern that you are surrounded. And that is it for each of you.
Okay.
I'm gonna just just kind of cast mage armor on myself. just in case these little jerks try to attack me. That's all. That's all.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
Ooh.
I'm gonna follow suit just in case.
Okay.
There's an ooh. What's the ooh?
Just an ooh.
I like an ooh from another party member, not from the GM. So I like that. I like that ooh.
That sign. What does it say?
Yeah, well, you're a bit far to notice any. You're a bit out, but if you look a bit, if you get a bit closer, it seems to be scratched out sign. No, no names on it. You begin moving, um, and you all hear just a cacophony of crows cawing, and they are just watching you. However, you do hear a voice. Actually, yeah, everyone roll me a perception.
Ooh. 10.
10. Okay. So you all still would hear this voice, um, but Anna and Brahm, you're able to see all of the crows. Some of them, as you are moving, some of them have been flying from tree to tree to continue just watching you. And so, Brahm and Anna, you see that the split combination of all the crows seem to be looking mostly towards Desmond and Tavene. And you hear a scarily just simple human voice from somewhere within the line of the woods ask a question. The question being, what magic do you carry?
Looking at my stuff. No, I guess it's just that. Desmond kind of looks. The voice came from like within the woods, right?
The voice came from. You all heard the voice come from within the woods, and Anna and Brahms see that like this half of the crows. Let's see. Let me get a line. This half of crows are staring at Desmond, and then this half of crows are staring at Tavene.
Desmond says, with exception to this small signet, the only magic I carry upon my person is my own natural magic. Who's asking?
You hear a just cacophony of caws from the trees around you. Caw, 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 caw.
Hey, what's up? It's Philip, and today I'll show you how to...
I don't know if that means they believe me. I suppose potions and universal solvents are alchemical. Would that count, Anastasia?
Maybe, though I'm not fluid in magics per se. If they're about maybe magical artifacts or weapons or items of any sort. Could be referencing potions.
Well, that's all I have. It's just this signet and potions. I don't have any magical weaponry
Why are we
on
even
me.
humoring this voice?
I feel like they
Sorry.
have the upper hand. I have that strange feeling.
Out of curiosity, which direction is towards the crab?
The way you're going.
Oh, this way, right?
Yes. I mean, you could cut through the voidwood if you really want to. I'm not gonna say.
Oh no, I just want to make sure that going to crabs isn't this way for some weird ass reason. Okay, anyway, I'm gonna agree with Tavine's like, let's get out of here when it's still possible.
Agreed. I will pick my horse and start on a gallop in the direction to leave.
Okay. I need to look at something real quick. Don't mind me. Don't mind me at all. Let us see here. Okay.
This is where the map warps, and it is indeed through the voidwood we must go.
All right. Just reading something. mind me. Just doing a little something. Do. Okay. This is fun. This is very fun. Ooh. Yeah, don't mind that. Okay.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
There's nothing even to mind.
Yeah.
Obvious. Wait, you took away our.
What did I take away?
Oh no, never mind. I thought you took away our access to the witch crow. I just closed it.
Yeah.
I don't typically do that, so I was confused.
Okay. Alright, I need to see something. Lots of sneaky happening. Boo, don't mind me, don't mind me, don't mind me, don't mind me, don't mind me. I just need to look into someone's inventory.
Hey.
Whose character sheet goes through a change?
Yeah.
Well, Desmond was the only one who was entertaining the questions, and he has all this stuff in his hands. He's like, "Does this count?"
Sorry to be a disappointment.
Well, yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna rule this here.
Spontaneously make one of my things magical.
No, that it would still go in for something. You guys are able to get out of the region. You notice that some of the crows have disappeared from sight. I'm gonna say they would have gone in anyways. To do a certain thing. So as you are all, yeah, this is quote unquote averted, because as you all are traveling along the road, and begin to make your way towards the crab estate, before we end, Tavene may not recognize it, but the remainder of your bolts have been snatched.
Ah!
They tried to go in and steal something from everyone, but unfortunately, some of you have really good ACs.
Yes.
And so they were only able to snag something from Tavene, which, as you continue down the road, without your knowledge of it being stolen, we will head back here and call that a session.
David, I'm so sorry you lost your bullets.
Spoiler alert, 3 of them were going for Anna's sword. And they all missed.
Mage armor coming in clutch.
Good thing too.
And then the
I feel
last
like if you
crow
lost
just
your sword, you would
decided.
definitely go back for it.
Yeah, the last crow just decided. You know what? Let's just grab something.
I feel like I should
Got-
mention that my AC was supposed to be 17 and not, what, 13?
It still
12.
got you with a 24.
Wonderful. And then
And
all my bolts or hand or heavy bolts?
I feel like a hand crossbow. Unless you have otherwise, I feel like hand crossbow bolts are easier to store. You probably have the heavy crossbow bolts like on your side in an actual
Mhm.
like little bag. So they grabbed the heavy.
Precious.
You just got like the bows of nest building materials.
It's okay. We'll go back through. We'll see a nice nest and realize it's your shit and take it back.
Yeah, and we
That's
shall
9.
we
Yeah,
shall
sorry.
see what comes from that in our next session on session 31. We can get rid of this guy now and put in this guy.
Welcome,
Right there.
Sir Beefcake.
Right there.
Right there. There he be. Great.
Yes.
Great game as always. Fun to be back in the game. Fun to have a new character. This is gonna be a lot of fun. But for now,
Yeah.
everybody say goodbye to YouTube.
Bye,
Bye,
YouTube.
Bye, YouTube. Happy dungeon delving, everyone. And pie.
As always, good pie and stay sweet.